Brianna Lyston. This could destroy her track career. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button. And finally, leave your thoughts after this sports analysis where we take a look at and we break down the races. So, when you're ready? Yep, good to go. Brianna Lyston has emerged as one of the great junior 100 and 200 meter track sprinters out of Jamaica. But Lyston has a problem that could lead to the devastating destruction of her fledgling sprinting career. To quote Brianna Lyston herself, she says, "After my first year in high school, I picked up a few injuries, such as hamstrings and quad." Lyston explains, "I overcame the quad injuries, but the hamstring injuries persisted into class 2. I always competed, but not at my best. It was devastating because I was not getting better or performing how I wanted to." Now, the truth is, at this stage, early stage in her career, Brianna Lyston could be referenced as an athlete who's prone to injury. And injury could lead to disaster if not properly managed for this amazing young talent. Now, recently in Cali, Colombia, she became world champion in her age group over the 200 meters, running a stunning 22.65 to win ahead of all. This time was in rainy, windy, horrific conditions. Her win of 22.65 cemented her as the world's best in her age group. Lyston is a remarkable talent, and we have always known this. Remember, at age 12, she did what many thought was impossible. Brianna Lyston posted a record time at the Jamaica Boys and Girls Champs at that point. The 12-year-old won the 200 meter race with a time of 23.72 seconds, less than 2.1 seconds off the senior world record set by US track star Florence Griffin Joyner at the 1988 Olympics, which is remarkable. Who can forget that run? Her 23.72 time was so remarkable that track heads across the entire globe could not stop speaking about this remarkable find here in Jamaica. But then something happened. What happened? Injury. For quite some time, she struggled. Now, remember earlier that Brianna Lyston herself said she picked up quad and hamstring injuries. Now, she said she recovered from the quad injuries, but the hamstring injury kept coming back. Now, a hamstring injury, sometimes called a pulled hamstring, happens when one or more of these muscles get stretched too far and starts to tear. Hamstring strains can be mild with little pain and a relatively short recovery time, or they can be severe, need surgery and crutches for weeks. Now, there are generally three types of hamstring strain. There is a mild strain. You may experience some pain when you use your leg, but it will be minor and there will be minimal swelling. Then there's grade 2. This is a partial tear of one or more of the hamstring muscles. This may cause you to limp when you walk and feel some pain during activity. You might see some swelling and bruising, and you might not be able to straighten your leg all the way. Now then, there's grade 3. This is a complete tear from one or more of the hamstring muscles. You'll feel pain and not be able to straighten your leg all the way, and you'll notice swelling right away. Walking will be very difficult and may require a crutch. Now, if the muscle doesn't fully recover, an injury recurrence is possible. That means you can have the same injury happen over and over again. Re-injuries are very common and can often end a sprinter's career. I'm going to say that again. Re-injuries are very common and can often end a sprinter's career. We all know the story at this point, I believe, or if you don't, I'm going to tell you. In 2021, at the World Under 20, we saw, well, certainly us here at Peter Lloyd World, started to see glimpses of the old Brianna Lyston from age 12. She ran in the 200 meters and in her heat and semi was absolutely remarkable. Unfortunately, she ended up, she was disqualified because she ran on the line in the finals. But what was impressive to us is that we saw the beginnings of her coming back into form. Since then, 2022 has simply been a magnificent year. One of the fastest 100-meter sprinters in the girls class 1, the champion at girls champs, boys and girls champs, apologies, it's a boys and girls champs 2022 over the 200 meters, as well as breaking the record for her age group. I mean, her recovery has been remarkable, and we saw this in her very, very first series of races in January of 2022. She was back with a bang.
It was a dynamo at Veer Technical. That's your favorite, Brianna Lyston, running out of lane 6, silver medalist at the 100-meter final. Set. The set position off the first time of asking. Lyston got a great start. Kelly's trying to stay with her. Woolry's also trying to stay with her. But it's all about Brianna Lyston at the moment. Look at that beautiful transition off the curve. The high dive speed ball is on a different level. She's gone about her business. The battle is really on for silver and bronze. Brianna Lyston, a fantastic performance. 22.52, new record. A stunning and imperious performance by Brianna Lyston. What a run! A run for the ages and a run to simply take your breath away. Take that to the bank. Oh wow! 22.53, Kelly Silver. Negative.
So does Brianna Lyston actually come within the definition of the term injury prone? Now, there are arguably different types of injury proneness, and injury prone athletes, as well as two types of injuries: acute injuries and overuse injuries. Some symptoms of acute injuries develop rapidly, while overuse injuries occur as a result of repetitive friction, pulling, twisting, or compressing that develops over time. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Here is a reason why we are concerned about this remarkable young talent. Now, Jamaica has had many other athletes who have become injury prone. Case in point, the great Johan Blake, Hansel Parchment, Elaine Tom-Sahara, Chris Taylor, amongst, just to name a few. And we know how these injuries, these are athletes who have had recurring injuries. Elaine Tom-Sahara had 5 years of Achilles issues after her remarkable breakthrough at the 2016 Rio Olympics, and just was never back into form until, as a result of COVID in 2020, she was forced to break for the entire year, which we theorize gave her time to actually heal properly because she didn't run on those injuries, and therefore she was able to produce what she did in 2021. And then, of course, we saw what happened in 2022 again as a result of injuries. So there are many great injury-prone athletes who have seen this impact their careers in horrific ways. Why do we think that this young lady may be injury-prone? Remember, she did not run at the national trials, and this was primarily because her coaching staff basically said that she had picked up an injury, they didn't want to press it, etc. So we know that even the slightest, look at what happened with Hansa Parchment at the World Championships. He just had a tweak, and he has just not come back into form right up until the end of the season. So if she is actually injury prone, and we believe that she's leaning towards that concept of injury prone, this, if it is not properly managed by her team and the coaching staff there at LSU, which is where she has now gone to, this could lead to disaster in her career. We know she's talented. We know she's a remarkable talent. And I'm not trying to say that she's frail, but because she picked up this serious injury so early in her career, age 13 possibly, it has definitely impacted her, and she has had moments of greatness. Imagine if she had been able to evolve naturally, as say the Clayton twins were able to evolve from age 12 up to this point. Her times would even be faster. She's just a remarkable talent. We are concerned for obvious reasons because, as I said, we have seen how injuries has impacted other athletes. And the truth is, we tend to, as a community, people within the track and field, fans like myself, we tend to underestimate how important injury and being injury prone can impact an athlete. As I stated, just look at what happened with several of these athletes. We've seen, I've just mentioned several. The slightest tweak in the muscle can create problems for months upon months. So the truth is, as amazing as Brianna Lyston is, and we are not hoping for this, but this is something that we think her coaching staff and we ourselves should be aware of. Because of this hamstring that is apparently recurring, I mean, that's the reason why she was pulled out of national trials, which means that it's still an issue. LSU will have to be very careful how they manage this tremendous athlete who we think has the potential to become a world champion, world beater, and world record holder. Yes, I know you're going to say, don't say this so early, but she has all the necessary ingredients. So that's why we say that this issue of injury could destroy her track career. Although we believe if properly managed, it will not. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd absolutely love to know your thoughts. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button. Remember, you are royals, kings and queens. Bless up!